and that's $10, and we'll have the t-shirts next week. Also, wanted to let you refresh your mind on what's going on as far as our border missions. This weekend's trip is full. We've got a great team going down to Laredo. We're leaving tomorrow, so be in prayer for that if you're not going, and show up if you are. February 15th and 16th, we're going to Eagle Pass, and then on April the 5th and 6th, we'll be in Del Rio. And also for those of you that are interested in PT or something like that, the Del Rio trip will include a wheelchair clinic that we'll do in the Mexican consulate for people coming, special needs kids primarily, coming from Mexico. So that's what's taking place here in the spring. And then finally, in June, we're planning an El Salvador trip. These pictures are from our last year's trip. The cost is around $1,400 plus the international airfare. We are partnering with GHO this time, which is the short-term missions arm of CMDA. And the dentist in charge is a really great guy. I think you'll enjoy meeting him. I'm planning to go on that trip as well. So if you're interested in that, talk to Scott or me as soon as possible. And then finally, it's my great pleasure to introduce Wes and his daughter Marquel. I didn't know until today, although I've known Marquel for years. She was one of the first people I met when I started with CMDA almost 11 years ago. I think you were a second year student then, and she graduated in 05. Her dad, too, Dr. Graham, or Wes, as he prefers, is also an alumni of this institution. So Marquel was the second generation student to go through UTHSCSA. So both of them are alumni. She's a wonderful friend. She has two precious daughters. One is Addison is 5 and Madeline is 2. They keep her running, and her husband does the finances for the county, Bear County, from what I understand. His name is Seth. Wes's wife also works with the practice. She's their hygienist, and so she is working right now. But it's my great pleasure to introduce Wes and Marquel.
Thank you for having us. First, CMDA has always been very partial to my heart. When I was in dental school, I came here in 2001. Like I said, I graduated in 05, and I immediately got involved with CMDA. And I really credit CMDA with making me the Christian I am today. I took a Discipleship 101 class back when Roger was still here, and he was one of the directors, and he led the class, and it was the first time I was ever taught what it meant to have a personal relationship with Christ. And a lot of the things I learned in that class, I still, like, they're pillars, I guess, to my foundation or and just my spiritual formation. So that's why I've always been so dear to CMDA. And I've been in a Bible study with them. I'm taking a temporary hiatus this spring because my husband is in graduate school and working, and it's kind of crazy at our house. But anyways, I've been in Bible study with CMDA for a long time now, once a student and now as a professional. I spoke here about I think I was about 3 years out of school last time I spoke, and at the time school was just so fresh on my mind still. I think I was really trying to figure out what kind of a dentist I wanted to be, and a lot of what I spoke about was maybe how my faith got me through school and how it kind of strengthened while I was there. And today I thought I would talk a little bit more about the 8 years I've been practicing and just how, maybe some of the struggles that I've had. The hardest thing that I've had to deal with, and that I've been, maybe over the past couple of years I've been coming to better terms with, is trusting God when it comes to my work. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but being a dentist and being a partner in a dental practice has been the hardest thing for me as far as turning that over to God. I have 2 children, like Kelly said. I have a 5-year-old and I have a 2-year-old. And you would think being a parent would be the hardest thing, but I think for me, I knew that I knew nothing about being a parent. And so when I got pregnant, I immediately trusted God with all of that. And it seems so second nature to pray about being a parent, disciplining and children and their development and all those things. But for some reason, it was a little bit of a struggle for me to turn over the entirety of my work to God. Obviously, to get to the position all of you are in being in medical school or dental school or nursing school, you obviously have God-given talents, and I of course, my own self recognize that. I'm very appreciative and thankful to God for how He's blessed my life so to be a dentist. It's one of the best jobs to have and be a working mom. But I think, when I first got out of school, I had a lot of struggles initially. Things like people not thinking I was old enough to be the dentist, thinking I was the assistant or the hygienist, and wearing professional clothes, by the way, helps a lot with that. I asked Dad, did you have the same problem when you got out of school? And he said, no, I was already bald by the time I got out of school. People would ask me that, patients would, are you finished school yet? Yes, I finished school. And I would get asked questions like, was my dad going to come in and check my work? So just initial struggles like that I dealt with. There are patients that maybe were used to seeing him and had to see me, and just getting over the sensitivity of that issue. And then I had to deal with just the staff management. It was hard. You get out of school and you walk into an office, you put your coat on, and all of a sudden, you're one of the bosses. And it's kind of weird when you're the boss now of someone who's worked for your father since you were in 7th grade. It's a very awkward position to be in. And like a lot of things, it's earning respect from people. But you get out of school and you're brimming with all these ideas and you want to do all of this stuff. And that's not how Dr. Graham does it. And I got that a whole lot at first. And I think last time when I came to speak, that was maybe where I was at in my career. I was just kind of finding myself. And besides just that, maybe finding myself as a dentist. You get out of school and you really, you've learned some, and you start taking CE classes at like TDA and conventions like that, and you realize, man, how does that guy know so much? Or how does my dad, his work is just, seems to come so naturally, so easily to him. And for me, everything seemed to be such a struggle for a while. And so I think my hard thing with trusting God in that was I felt like I should have the answers. I went to school for 8 years. I'm a dentist now. I should know how to do some of this stuff. And so, sorry to read something to you. I have a blog, and I blogged about some of this a little while ago. And there's parts of it I want to read. I had said, I basically dealt with defining who I was going to be as a dentist, as a boss and as a leader. I tried so hard to do this on my own with what I was taught or what my friends said that they did. I asked for guidance from everyone, but I never consulted God about it. I felt hopeless and exhausted at times, and when I finally felt helpless about it, I finally turned to God. And it makes me think of a Mother Teresa quote. This was sort of my theme. I don't really make New Year's resolutions because I never stick with them, and then I beat myself up for always falling short. And I had a theme last year, and this was one of my big things. It was a Mother Teresa quote, and it was, give yourself fully to God, and He will accomplish great things through you if you believe more in His love and less in your own weaknesses. And for me, that's always been the struggle, I suppose. It's human nature, is your weaknesses, your insecurities, the things that you're not good at, things you fall short on. And I also think a lot of Matthew 7, chapter 7, 7 and 8, which most of you know. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and the one who knocks, the door will be open. I came to realize sometime last year, so 7 years into practicing, that I had to really give everything professionally over to God. I've learned in my short time of being in business that there's years where the business is great, and there's years where it's not great, like 2011 was for us. And I have no control over that, and there's a lot of worry when it comes to that. There's times where I think I did awesome dentistry and the patient just doesn't like it. And there's just so many things that are out of your control. And so I really had to work hard at doing that. My problem is I'm very controlling, so it's hard for me to relinquish control of those things. And it really became, and still is, a very daily habit of me letting go. But the sense of peace I felt once I did that was remarkable. I also come to realize, or I'm realizing, that practicing dentistry is a lot like climbing a mountain. When I got out of dental school, I was probably at base camp. And you have to make a choice each and every day to get up and to climb a little higher. And at times, that's what separates me from people like my dad, or me from the big greats, Gordon Christensen, the people who teach classes at TDA. It's just, it's climbing higher up that mountain, and it takes a lot of work. You know, you can't just show up and go to work every day. I mean, it takes reading journals, and it takes going to continued education classes and taking a lot of that and staying abreast on technology and trying things at work and things not working and going back to what you learned in dental school and just constantly trying to get better. It also takes just really treating your staff the way you want to be treated and just waiting patiently for all that to flourish. You know, I really feel like Barbara and Tracy are down here. They're helped serve. Barbara's my dad. She's going to wave. Barbara's my dad's dental assistant. She's been with him for 12 years. And then Tracy's my dental assistant. She's been with me for 4 years. And we really are a family. I mean, you know, I spend probably more time with Tracy and talk to her more than I see my own husband. And so, you know, they really do become part of our family. Something else I wrote on here I wanted to say, and I'll kind of wrap this up so my dad can say something. What I've come to realize in practicing for 8 years is that it requires giving up and realizing that this isn't about me. It's not about my career, it's not about my degree, it's not about my success. It's about glorifying God each and every day with each and every patient. It's about seeking opportunities to practice faith and to use the blessings that God has granted me. It's about grace and trust. And it's about realizing that Jesus is right there climbing that mountain with me, if I'll just take the time to stop and notice that he's there. And so my big mantra for 2013 is trusting God. I feel like that's the direction that God's leading me in my life. And so I feel very blessed that we've had the opportunity to provide lunch for you guys. I ate many free lunches here on Thursday. And I still remember some of the people that spoke and how that kind of shaped my spiritual growth. And so thank you. I'll turn it over to my father. And like Kelly said, he did graduate in 1981, and I was born his second year of school, and so it was a real honor. He hooded me when I graduated, and it's one of the best moments of my life. So.
Thanks once again for allowing us to come over and visit with you just a little bit. As my daughter pointed out, I graduated from here a very long time ago. She was born 34 years ago when I was a second-year student in the middle of midterm exams and stuff. CMDA was not around in those days. We just kind of hung in there and did what we needed to do. But as far as a chance to practice our faith, that's the easiest thing I think there is to do every day, is to live my faith and treat my patients the way I want to be treated. The old golden rule from the Bible. Just do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Above all, I have no concerns about being sued by people. And it's not that I'm such a great dentist. I'm just honest with my patients, and they sense that. If it ain't broke, I don't fix it. I would tell all of you to guard your talents with your life. All of you are immensely talented people, much more so than I was. I could not get into professional school right now with the competition the way it is. But all of you people are tremendously talented. And sometimes people wreck their lives by poor decisions, alcohol, drugs, running around with their dental assistants or something, and making poor decisions. But guard your talents with your life. They are your life. We professional people, I'm not just making this up, you're going to probably make more money than 95% of this country. But we human beings are stuck big time on our stuff. Sometimes we measure success by who has the biggest pile of money or the biggest pile of house. And you're going to get a license to be a dentist or a physician. You're not going to get a license to have Mercedes-Benz or live over here in a Dominion or something. You'll get a license to practice what you've been trained at this school. And just do that. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with your values. And again, I don't get worried about getting sued because I make decisions that are best for my patients. And if I want to buy me a car or something, that's my problem. It's not my patient's problem. If I want to buy me some $1 million house, that's my problem. That is not my patient's problem. And I was lucky. That's the way my mom and dad were. And so living my religion each day in that office is the easiest thing on earth. Couldn't be any easier. And just do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The other thing, thank heavens, all of us were born in this country. I've been to several mission trips down in Central America. It will open your eyes and just make you want to come home and be grateful for the wonderful homes we have, nice, safe, and warm. We can send our children to school. We have opportunity here. Wow, it's the best thing on earth, is the opportunity to be the people that the Lord needs us to be and the people that we can be in our heart. But we've got opportunity because we live in this country. Thank goodness. It's got its problems. It does. We've got a tremendously violent world we live into. I don't know where the evil comes from, but it's in our hearts as human beings. Guns and weapons are inanimate objects, and there's a tremendous debate going on about that, but it's something that we can do as professionals in our heart. Live our lives straight. Our patients pick it up, our family picks it up, the people that work with us pick it up, and it's the easiest part of my day. So I would leave you and just tell you to be sensible in your judgments, be sensible in what you do with your lives and the decisions you make, and certainly be successful. I know that you all will. Again, you're all extremely talented people. I taught here at the school for about 9 years, and I was so impressed by how kind and how smart the young people were. I didn't ever tell them, man, you guys are smarter than I am. I'm old man, I'm kind of a little dumb here. But I'm so impressed that the future is in your hands, and it's in good hands. So once again, I'd thank you. As far as, again, I don't talk a great deal about religion. I just let my actions do the talking for me. I think actions do speak louder than words, and that's the way I do it. It's real simple, and it's real easy. I'm the luckiest person on earth to have had a daughter that was born while I was in this school. I also have a son in Dallas. He's not in dentistry. But couldn't have been luckier to have my daughter come back and go to this school. Wow, what a deal. It's a good thing every day. And most of my patients are just the nicest people on earth. There's a few nutballs here and there. I've been accused of being a nutball myself. So once again, I would wish you all a sensible life and a very successful practice. And thanks once again for allowing us to come and visit with you.